Thanks for listening to FYI Stillwater, where you will hear information about your local government you didn't know you need to know, straight from the source. Be sure to check out other news and information from the City of Stillwater at stillwater.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter. Hi, I'm your host, Sherry Fletcher, Director of Marketing and Civic Engagement. Today, my co-host is Megan Pardue, Communications Coordinator. So how are you doing today, Megan?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. You look rested.
Yes, I am, because I had a wild dream last night.
Really? Tell me more.
Okay, so I have no idea where this came from because I haven't thought about this man in a long time. But I had a dream that Ryan Reynolds took all 3 of my cats and held them hostage in a warehouse. And I spent the entire dream fighting Ryan Reynolds for my cats. And I woke up pretty mad at him. So, and I did tweet him and let him know.
So you'll let us know if he responds?
Yes, I will.
Awesome.
I'll report back.
So that's pretty funny. So what's his superhero?
A Deadpool?
Deadpool.
Yes.
So is it the Deadpool character that kidnapped him?
I have no idea because I haven't seen those movies yet.
Ah, well, now you're going to have to.
I know, right?
So who is our guest today? Let's get back to our real work.
All right. So our guest today is Lauren Smith, and he's with the Electric Utility Department. Some basic facts about this department is that Stillwater has been a community-owned electric utility since 1901 and has owned its own electric generation since 1903. Stillwater is the largest municipal electric utility in the state, as well as the largest transmission owner and electric generator.
So welcome, Lauren. This is your second time to FYI Stillwater, right?
Yes, very excited to be here.
Return guest. So you know the routine. We're going to ask you some random but revealing questions in our lightning round.
Excellent.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Last time he was here, we learned he liked chicken fried steaks and gravy.
All right.
Yeah, he looks satisfied right now.
Yeah. That sounds really good right now. I'm on a diet, so it's like,
I was about to say, it's right after lunch.
Right,
You shouldn't be that hungry.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your favorite place of all the places you've traveled?
I would have to say Trieste, Italy.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that was really cool, and got to go to Venice and go over. It was just such a neat experience to be in a different country and just, on the other side of the world, it seems like. So it was a very neat trip.
Did you eat lots of pasta?
Ate lots of pasta and just got to meet a lot of interesting people. And
was this for just
pleasure?
Pleasure?
Just pleasure. Yeah, just to go.
So how did you pick Italy?
I think it was a bucket list kind of item, in the sense that we want to go there, and there we go.
Well, you just answered my next question.
Yeah, well, could be, but I may have another answer for that. I don't. I have a big bucket list.
It's a big
bucket
bucket list.
So have you ever completed anything on your bucket list?
Yeah, I went indoor skydiving. Right, I was too chicken to go flying a plane. I was never going to jump out of a plane.
You're not going to jump out of a plane.
No, they make good planes for that, and they're not good for jumping out. But I did do indoor skydiving down in Oklahoma City a while back, and I thought that was pretty.
Indoor skydiving.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
So how does that work? You go up a platform and jump?
No, there's a huge tube, and then there's a fan on the bottom of the tube that blows upwards, and it shoots up, 60 feet, and it literally has enough force that it's like you're skydiving, but you're only about 5 feet off the ground.
So you're floating.
Yeah, you're floating.
I've always wanted to do that. So how hard was it?
It
to
was
maneuver?
so cool. No, they have an instructor that goes in there with you and positions your arms and shows you what to do.
Now, is that how you tore up your arm?
No, I don't think so. But what's cool about it is they'll take you up way high. Up 60 feet high, and you can float way up there. It just depends on how you do it. So it was interesting.
Huh? Yeah, I definitely want to do that one of these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so today, so you're the Electric Utilities Director.
Yes.
And I think when you were here last time, we talked about the electric charging stations that are coming and the benefits of having an energy center on our grid, I guess is what we would say. So today, I think we're bringing you back to talk about people who are wanting to add renewable energy systems to their homes. Yes. And while that sounds like it's just a real easy process, you just sign a contract, somebody comes and puts them on, but it's really a lot more complicated than that, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we really want to get the word out that it's important to contact the utility, discuss what you're planning to do with us first before you sign any contract with a solar provider that may come and try to sell you panels and a system. It's important to understand how we compensate for that. We use what's called an avoided cost approach, which back in April of 2018 was approved by the trustees. And it may be a little different than what the people that are selling the panels or the contractors are telling you. So and we really want to help you understand and make that. We've had some instances where the contractor has filled out all the paperwork, and the people that have the panels are really not wise to what's going on, and they're kind of shocked when they see.
Yeah. So like I was on Facebook a few days ago, and there was an ad for someone to come and add solar panels to people living in central Oklahoma. And one of the comments was, how would this affect me? So somebody was like, how will this affect my bill? And the company actually said, well, Oklahoma's behind the times, but they're catching up. And that, they're behind the times on net metering. They specifically said net metering. However, that was a really inaccurate statement to start with, I guess.
Yes, it is inaccurate for some, not for us. Stillwater's we're a progressive utility, and we saw this coming, that we needed to get our rates in line and in place. Net metering was originally designed many years ago, back in the mid-2000s, to incentivize solar and renewables because they were so expensive. And now the cost has come down significantly, where that incentive doesn't necessarily need to be there for someone to afford to purchase them. Also, over that time, in the mid-2000s to 2018, in that time period, a lot of studies had been done on the effects of net metering and how that can cause subsidization issues in your electric utility. And so there's many papers out there that you can read that have been done, and it shows that there's a subsidy from your other customers in the utility to the net metering owner.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand this. So if I put solar panels or wind or any other type of renewable on my home, it's not just that I'm saying, oh, I created this much energy, therefore you need to take that off my bill.
Correct.
So it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, is what you're saying. It's more.
It's not a 1-to-1. In the net metering scenario, the customer is being compensated or credited at the full retail rate. And so that causes other customers to have to subsidize them. There's a fixed cost to get.
So what would a fixed cost cover? Like wires and poles?
Yes,
and
ma'am. Transformers,
meters,
infrastructure. Yes, all the infrastructure to get the city service to you. It's still there. It still exists. And your solar panels, your wind, whatever you put in, it's not there all the time. So at some point you have to rely on that infrastructure to be there. And what happens is that those costs are not being recouped by the utility to maintain those and keep those lines there.
So walk me through. So I'm a resident, I own my home, and I want to put solar panels on my house. I call a company and they say, here's a contract, here's your potential savings, and all you need to do is sign the contract and we'll come and put them on your house. It seems pretty simple.
That is very simple. And at that point, we ask, and for your benefit, to contact us, come meet with us. We'd be glad to meet with you and make sure that what is being proposed is what you're truly going to get.
So if I read the contract, I'm not confused. What would you tell me that would maybe make me pause before I sign the contract?
We would want to make sure that you are fully aware of the avoided cost approach method that we use.
So if the contract says with net metering, you will save X dollars on your bill.
That's the red flag.
That's the red flag.
So you would know right then the city of Stillwater does not follow net metering
Yes.
policies.
Yes.
So let's say that I'm really into Christmas lights and I want to put a whole bunch up, but I don't really want to pay the electric bill. So I put some solar panels on to offset my electric cost. Can you create enough solar energy to offset how much you would spend on like Christmas lights?
I don't think spend. I'm trying to think about that. I mean, if you had Christmas lights that were solar powered, that's one
That
thing.
would be one way to do that.
One way, and not connected to your system. Right?
Okay.
That would take it. That's
But
one way you wouldn't have to.
winter, you're not always guaranteed all that sunlight.
Right, right. So I don't know if it would be worth it just to do that because they're expensive. This
Yeah.
is a $20,000 investment. This is a lot of money.
Okay, so having just a temporary relief on your electric
Right.
bill, this wouldn't be a path you might want to
I do not
pursue.
believe so.
In addition to solar panels, what about wind or water renewables? Is that something that we're seeing in this area of the country?
So this region, the Southwest Power Pool, which basically this energy market that we're in, from Texas to Canada, about the swath of Oklahoma, is known as the Saudi Arabia of wind. There's more wind than there is oil. That's the catchphrase. But more and more winds being brought on. Solar is starting to get a foothold, but it's a very, very minute part of the generation mix. One thing that we struggle with, and I was at a conference yesterday, is how do you harness the wind? Because it doesn't blow at the right time, and the sun doesn't shine at the right time when you need it for peak. And so there's alternatives that are gaining traction, and that is battery storage technologies and fast start natural gas plants.
So if we're saying that you might not be able to recoup your electric bill totally with solar panels, and then it is an expensive endeavor. But let's say that I'm really wanting to reduce my carbon footprint, and I'm really into taking care of the environment and stuff. And I have some reservations about how we generate our electric. Do you have something that you could make me maybe say, well, I'm doing the best I can, environmentally, and I shouldn't feel so bad about electric?
Yes, actually we are. So we purchase our wholesale electric from Grand River Dam Authority, who, what I like to say is they were renewable. They were renewable cool before renewables were cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they were founded with a hydro plant on Grand Lake.
Okay.
And so back in the 30s.
Grand River
Grand,
Lake.
Grand River, and so they have a lot of run-of-the-river hydro. So when water leaves Grand Lake, it runs down the river to Lake Hudson. They have Kerr Dam there, where they have another generation station, and so they have about 200 megawatts of wind. An RFP out for additional 200 megawatts of wind and/or solar now. So GRDA is very green, but the market as a whole is very green. And when we talk about the SPP, all these grids are connected together, and the wind penetration of 76% in this huge region. I mean, this is a
lot of wind.
Imagine. So there's a lot of renewables out there, and it's very important to have a diverse portfolio of generation resources to maintain reliability. It's kind of like they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket financially, right? You don't go out and put your money in one thing. So it's kind of that way with electric, and the idea is we want to provide reliable, consistent service.
And it's pretty green overall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Overall, it's already pretty green. Yeah.
So we've been a community-owned electric since 1901, which is really a forward-thinking concept, because if we did not have that surplus, then we would have to rely strictly on sales tax to provide city services, and that's kind of a hit or miss.
Can be unreliable.
It's unreliable, and Stillwater does not get property tax. So no city in Oklahoma receives part of the ad valorem or the property tax. So if you don't have a utility like that, then you have to rely on sales tax. So how many Oklahoma cities have an electric utility?
So GRDA has 13, and OMPA has 42. Don't quote me, might be 43 now.
Okay.
So there's quite a few of us. Again, Stillwater is the largest municipal generator. Edmond is actually the largest.
Serving the most customers.
Yes, they serve about 35,000 meters. We serve about 21,500. But it's a huge benefit to the community. As a matter of fact, I was at a conference yesterday, and the city manager of Norman, as I was giving my presentation, he was taking notes, and he made a comment. He said, "Just think of the forefathers back in 1901 had the wherewithal to take this leap and to get off
Right.
kerosene, and let's put lights down Main Street and start this thing, this utility that has turned into what it is, because he just came out and said, because those that don't have it are struggling because they're so dependent on
So
sales
when
tax.
you say that, that we do have a public utility, so if there was an ice storm or something, we don't wait for a commercial utility to send people to fix the wires or the whatever.
Right.
We actually have employees that they live here in the community. They work for the city. They're the ones actually going out and taking care of us first before they go and do mutual aid somewhere else.
Absolutely. So we have about 65 employees in the electric department. We're very fortunate. We have generation and transmission, distribution, and engineering. And speaking a little bit about mutual aid, through Oklahoma Municipal Alliance, we have mutual aid agreements where if we did sustain damage to us, we could have these other communities providing manpower, support, and materials very quickly.
Right.
And it's the same way we reciprocate the other way.
Yeah, those are things that you don't think about until you need them. So I know that you guys have kind of a bragging designation with a national, the American Public Power Association. So you're like gold rated?
Absolutely. So.
So what does that
no-
mean?
Actually, we're platinum now.
Platinum.
We started
Okay,
off
so you're
gold, and the
platinum.
second 2-year period we went platinum. So
So what does that mean?
we are an RP3 platinum provider. We're a reliable public power provider. That's the
Reliable.
RP3.
Yeah, reliable is the key word there.
And it is not an easy task. The criteria is, I think there's about 20 or 30 categories of safety, reliability, future plans, policies, procedures, all these things that make up an excellent utility. We are that, and so the next level's diamond, and it's really, you just keep stepping up the
Yeah.
ladder, and so our goal is to try to hit that.
So you want to hit diamond?
Absolutely, we want to be the best, and so we pride ourselves on that, and we want to be the best. We want to be responsive. We want our customers to be taken care of, and we get a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah.
With the few that may be bad, there's 100 more that are great job. You guys are because
Because people do appreciate the staff going out in a rainstorm or ice storm, and they're taking care of getting power back to your house.
While we're sitting cozy inside, those people
Right.
are out, doing
Doing
the city's work.
right, and it's important to be patient because they're on their way. You're right. Just be patient and understanding that.
Because overall, Stillwater residents or your customers, the amount of time that they're without electricity per year is not a very large number.
No.
It's like, what?
We don't ever drop below 99% reliability, so it's usually higher than that 99 point ... decimals out there.
So that means that the electric is running 99.9% of the time.
Over the whole system. Now, there's customers that may experience a longer outage period than that, but it's kind of a complicated matrix to get to that
Yeah.
99.9%. But yes, we're here. People are local. They're not driving from Oklahoma City to come fix your system.
And we're paying for essential services.
Yeah.
So that's all really good. Well, maybe we should just reiterate the people who are looking at solar panels or any other renewable energies. We want them to call electric first. And somebody there will walk them through the things they need to know. So did I forget to ask you something?
No, I think you covered it all. And again, we want to help. We want to help you make the best decision
And we
you
want
can.
the solar.
We do. We want to provide you what you want.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being our guest. We will have you back.
All right.
There's so much information and stuff to talk about the electric department that
Absolutely.
you can come back every week almost.
Yeah, heck yeah. We'll just make it a regular meeting.
Yeah, we learn more about him every time he comes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we go, let's take a look at the mailbox. The city receives questions in a lot of ways, including email, social media, phone calls. Our first one today is I'm dealing with some noise-related disturbances from one of my neighbors. Where can I go to stop this? Megan,
All
we've
right.
all been here.
Yes,
we
we
feel for
have.
you.
Uh-huh. All
So
right.
what are we going to tell this person?
So for an issue like this, you can call the Stillwater Police Department's 24/7 non-emergency line at 405-372-4171 during the event of the noise. So this is while it's happening. If you can't memorize that number, you can always find it on our website at stillwater.org under the Who to Contact tab. Also remember that the city's voicemail, email, and social media platforms are not monitored 24/7. So if you choose one of these methods of contact, your concern or question may just be reviewed the next business day.
But it doesn't take care of your problem because you have to report it during the noise. So what we want to see happen is the police officer arrives while your neighbors are doing their noisy, whatever it is, music
Yes.
really loud or party or something. So that's going to be really important to call and get an officer there during the incident.
Yes.
So posting a complaint on social media is not helping you.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Although it may help you vent.
Yeah. It's like we've all been there. We've had
Yep.
that neighbor. When I was pregnant with my daughter, our next door neighbors had a dog that decided he was going to bark every time I lay down to sleep.
Joy.
Yeah. And he stopped barking when I got up. So he knew. The dog knew.
He was watching you.
Yes. Okay, so question number 2. I usually work Monday nights and I'm not able to attend city council meetings or watch it live. I'm interested in what's happening. Is there any way I can watch a replay?
Absolutely. We have a variety of ways you can stay updated on council. You may watch the replay on our YouTube channel anytime. Just search City of Stillwater TV on YouTube. You can also watch replays on AT&T Uverse Channel 99 or Suddenlink Channel 14. We also post recaps on our news page at stillwater.org for those who don't want to watch the entire meeting. We love when residents want to get involved in their government happenings, so be sure and check it out.
So we also do social media, right?
Yes, we do.
So if you're a Facebooker or you Twitter, is that what you call it? You Twitter, you tweet, you engage on the Twitter platform. They can you post a link there too.
Yep, always.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to FYI Stillwater.
Tune in for our next podcast.
If you have a question for City Hall, email news@stillwater.org, and in the next podcast, we'll answer a few of them. FYI Stillwater is available on our website at stillwater.org, Spotify, and just about anywhere else you enjoy your podcast.